sister, you're a beautiful thing. Growing more every day. It's me, you and me. A tribal mentality. Let's come together.
I am Ashley Bell, and this is Mother Jennifer. Hallelujah. We're your host of the Sister2Sister show. Thanks to everyone who listens, everyone who watches, everyone who follows Pastor Charles Dow as we follow him, as he follows Christ.
My name is Kabir Bajabia Miller. I went to Crenshaw High School. From there, I went to San Diego State University and went on to be drafted by the Green Bay Packers.
Robert Mathis, McNair High School out of Atlanta, Georgia. Alabama A&M University and Indianapolis Colts, 2003.
Daniel Muir, Parkdale High School out of DMV area, DC, Maryland, Virginia area. Went to Kent State University, came to the Packers and played majority of my career with Indianapolis Colts. I was looking at the mic instead of the camera.
TJ Clemmings, went to Patterson Catholic High School in New Jersey, and I went to University of Pitt, and I was drafted by the Minnesota Vikings in 2015.
Could you please state your ages in the back of the panel?
21,
25.
24, 19, 17, 15, 16, 13.
Thank you. Consider your mindset as a child. Why did you choose sports? What were you looking for? First with you, please.
The kind of mindset I had when I was a little boy to play sports, well, I was rough. I was a rough boy, broke the walls, wrestled a lot, and I just remember going to school, and it was in elementary, and I saw people for Halloween wearing these football clothes, shoulder pads, helmets. So they're football players. And I remember growing up watching the Los Angeles Rams, and I wanted to say, I want to play football like I saw the Los Angeles Rams, the home team from LA. And I asked the guy, I said, hey, that's the same color as the Rams. What team do you play for? He says, it's called Ball and Hills. It's a park. It's called Pop Warner Football. And so I remember, begging my dad if I could go play, Pop Warner Football, because I was playing flag football before. And so I didn't know you could play football at that young of an age. And so from there, that's how I got into the game of tackle football.
And you?
What drove me to play football was, quite honestly, following my big brothers. I'm the runt. I'm 6 feet. I have a brother 6'5", another brother 6'3", and trying to keep up with them and do as they do. So they introduced football to myself, and I just kind of picked it up and just kind of ran with it. I think everybody knows me. If I put my mind to something, I'm just going to take it to the max. And we pretty much just played in the neighborhood. We couldn't afford to do Pop Warner. I didn't have big money like beer and whatnot. So we just played in the neighborhood. And it just, when I got to high school, 10th grade is when I started playing organized football. And I just stayed with it, and fortunate enough to reach my dream at the time.
I did grow up in the hood, just to let you know that.
I bet.
No, being honest, I played football because I was mad as a child. I grew up in a house with a bunch of women. I had 6 sisters, and it was me. So playing football was a way for me to release, and I didn't realize it at the time, but playing football, I just got to hit people. And that's literally what happened, and I found out I was good at hitting people playing football. So then I kept with it and went to college and started playing professionally.
Just real quick, if you guys could put your bottles down, because I'm assuming that gets picked up when you guys are touching your bottle. I trust I know a little bit about this stuff. It's a Berean moment, so sorry. Wait, they're going to be recording.
I started sports in general because I didn't start playing football till I was 16. So I was a junior in high school. But the reason I started playing sports or football was through money. I didn't like seeing my parents struggle. I grew up struggling, and I always see my parents trying to make ends meet. And I said, if there's anything I can do to stop that, or at least ease the pain a little bit, I'm gonna try to do it through sports. And so that's what drove me to play basketball and then football and then going to college and then made it to the league. So
You play basketball?
I did. That's what I beat you, remember?
It's crazy.
Did you have your family support, and did you have public school support? What was the confidence that you built in your environment? I know my question's kind of threefold, but.
Did I have support? I had support. I think when I discovered the Pop Warner thing in elementary school, the support, I had to ask my dad because it costs money to play Pop Warner football, and so he didn't want me to really play Pop Warner football because it was expensive. It can be expensive. I mean, at the time, I didn't have any concept of money or whatever. But I did play 2 years of Pop Warner football. Struggled my ninth grade year in academics, so I didn't play my ninth grade year. I took a year off of football, and then I went on to high school, 10th grade. And when I went on to 10th grade, I wanted to play football again, but I didn't want to play for the high school because I felt like, man, that's a whole nother level. I'm a freshman. Let me go back to Pop Warner because I'm still at the age because I was a younger son. So let me go back to Pop Warner and get it back, and then go to B football. And my dad convinced me that this, they have a B team and you don't have to be afraid. So I ended up playing high school ball, but I had the support of my family. Once my dad started playing in high school, I think there was one time I wanted to quit. I don't know why I wanted to quit, but my dad told me if you start something, you got to finish it. And so that's something that he's always driven in me. If you start something, you got to see it all the way through. So I had support. So especially if I started something, I had to do everything in my power to finish it. And so support was there. Went to public school. That's where a lot of that happened. I went to a school that wasn't really big on football. It was a basketball school. And so we were really, Crenshaw High School in South Central Los Angeles was known for being a basketball school. And during the years I was there, I eventually became a powerhouse in football as I got to my senior year. So, and then I went on to college and things of that nature.
Did I have family support? I would say, so I was the youngest of 6. So the most support I had was my mother and my brother. He's 13 months older than I was, and than I am. But outside of that, the motivation and support I had was the motivation of what I can and can't do. So I always undersized. People told me you're too small, you're too dumb, you're too slow, you're too this, you're too that. So I used that and to just try to achieve what I wanted to achieve. And when it comes to the actual support, high school, very minimal, but it grew as I got to college with family. So a few more came on, but it was 100 miles and running in 2003. So everybody was on board, aunts, uncles, people that I just discovered. This is my cousin, 15 removed, third cousin, third sisters and stuff like that. So it was a lot of people came out the woodworks to support the cake after it's been baked per se. But when it comes to the foundation and just putting the ingredients in a pot, not a whole lot of people were there. So in the beginning, not a lot. In the end, everybody was there.
Everybody in there, mama.
Did I have the support? I can count on one hand how many times I had any family members come to games or practice or whatever, pick me up from practice, anything like that, before the NFL. If I'm not mistaken, I had family come to one game in high school. Yeah, one game in high school and then 2 games in college they came to. And then obviously when the NFL comes, like Rob said, the floodgates open. Everybody wants plane tickets. Everybody's there. Everybody's rooting and hooting and hollering. So, yeah.
Yeah, I had the support from my father for sure, and my mother. Again, starting with the basketball career, my mom was cool with that. My dad was, always took me to games and made sure I was where I needed to be. And but when it came to football, didn't have my mother's support. So at the beginning, at least, so she always thought I was going to get hurt or something, and she didn't really understand the game. And so I would ask when I was young, I said, "Mom, can I try this football thing?" Because all my friends was playing, and I was like, "I'm big, I could play basketball, but I think I could do this football thing." She said, "No." I will go ask again next year, "Mom, can I play football?" And she said, "No." And so I told myself when I was 16, this is the last time I'm gonna ask my mom or both my parents. 'Cause my dad, he was cool either way, but you know, she was just so nervous about it, so he kind of just let it, you know, be what it was. But I'm walking to their room and I said, you know what, this is the last time. If she say no, I'm joining the Army because I'm not paying for no college. I was not gonna pay for school. There's no chance. And so I said, I'm going to the Army. I had a plan. I said, she say no, that's it. So I go to the room and, you know, I say, hey guys, I'm just asking for the last time. I really want to try this football thing out. And my mom says no. So I said, cool. Turn around, walk out, and my dad says, Faye, just let him try. And then that's how it all started. And my mom ended up becoming like more, I wouldn't say more of a fan, but she was, my mother's from Jamaica, so it's, you know, being outside in the winter, just hanging out there at a game. But that was her, just sitting there with her little jacket, just, you know, all cool. But that's what she became after all those years of no. So I did have the support eventually of both my parents when it came to football.
Will you teach your sons or children that you may mentor to play sports recreationally or professionally? How would you advise children?
The way I plan on training my sons when it comes to playing football or whatever, I mean, I can see myself doing it recreationally, but not for sports, not for professionally or anything. Because if you look at our schedule, I mean, when you played high school ball, you play Friday nights, so that will run into a Shabbat. You play college ball, that's a Saturday. You know, depending on what school, but it's usually a Saturday. And then, so to get to a pro level, you will have to break a lot of the commandments. So that's not something that I'm going to put in them. We're going to be more focused on Israel. But there's other things you can do. You can play basketball, meaning recreation. We can have basketball. We can play, you know, at home or, you know, on the land and things of that nature. But it doesn't have to be, we don't serve the football gods. I mean, literally, when you play football, they treat it like a god, like, hey, let's do it for the football god. And, you know, we serve YAH. And so that's not even an option. I don't want them to do the things I did. What I did it in ignorance, and it was sinful. And I now want the next generation to live a righteous living. So that's more important to me than making money, because we all know I made millions of dollars. I've been to the so-called American Dream top. And we see people, our peers, we've seen celebrities make money, and they're unhappy. They're some of the most unhappiest people in the world. I mean, not to mention Will Smith. I mean, look, this guy make $2 million a family. He's not happy, you know. When you come to this land, to the Straitway, you see people that are happy, truly have a peace that passes all understanding. And us who's been in that world would tell you in a heartbeat, this is this place to be. But on the outside, it looks like, ooh, they don't got all the, the amenities and all this stuff. But when you come here and you're around the people, it's contagious. That's what it was for me, you know. So it's not about money. Money it's a pipe dream. It comes to a dead. It literally leads to death. And so there will be no reason for me to try to encourage my children to follow after my footstep in the sense of playing football.
Well, I teach my children to play football. Not no, but hell no. He's gonna learn to shoot guns, pick yams, and chase chickens. That's bottom line, because you can't serve two masters. So you can't play football and keep Shabbat. So they're gonna be raised to keep Shabbat and keep Yah's law. And that's all there is to it. So, and it also the aspect of lifelong injuries. No, the injury rate in football is 100%.
Yep.
At some point, you're going to get hurt. You're going to have something that's going to be on you for the rest of your life. So I'm not going to put that on them, because it's something that I deal with that I don't want on them. So if we're about breaking curses and generational things of that nature, I mean, just don't put them in position to be compromised. And so that's my stance on it.
Same answer. No, there's no way. One, the pipe dream of money is overrated. We had this conversation. We actually was talking about it coming up the hill. Just like, man, this is just beautiful, you know, just being here. Made a bunch of money playing football, and it's just overrated. Like Kabir says, it doesn't bring you happiness. You can go out and buy a bunch of stuff, but then stuff gets old. And it's just, you're stuck. You know what I mean? And to what Rob was saying as well, I just gave a testimony of how YAH healed my foot from an injury I had from 2010. From 2010, literally the last 4 years of my life, I really haven't had feeling in 3 of my toes because of an injury. And I was told in 2010 that would happen after I injured my ankle. That, this is something you're really gonna have to work on this, and that's what ended up happening. So there's no way. Now when it comes to children learning how to take care of their body and being athletic, I don't see any issue with that. We have guys in the ministry like Brother Lee. Pastor Corey specializes in it. Learning how to take care of your body, stretching and, running and those type of things. Being, if you want to say athletic, I don't see no issue with teaching them to take care of themselves in that way. But as far as to go running to other people, no. And then again, you're habitually breaking God's commandments to do it. So no way.
I'm going to have to go against the grain here, guys. I'm sorry. But I'm going to have to teach my sons, at least one of them, to play football. Now, the reason being, back in 2016, me and Rob played against each other. For the record, yes, Rob did beat me for a sack or a half or two, maybe two. It was two. It was two. It was two. It wasn't two. It was two. You weren't there. But he beat me. Nonetheless, I'm never going to have that opportunity to play him again. So I have to have a son. So when he sees his son, I'm going to show him how to put hands on his son, because his son's going to have no experience. So I have to repeat myself. But other than that, that's the only reason I would teach my son. But outside of that, like your brother said, I would not teach them about the game. They're going to have questions. They're going to see, the helmets and the jerseys and all that stuff. And it's just going to be a conversation that I'm going to have and say, hey, I did this out of ignorance. I didn't know at the time. In the world, just chasing with everything the world was telling us it's good to chase or to have and all this stuff. And so, but like again, injuries, the pain, it's not worth it. And again, it breaks Yah's commandments pretty much all across the board. There's no way to be at any of the feasts. There's no way to be at to keep the Shabbats, because we have practice or walkthroughs, and that's work. And so I couldn't do it. I personally couldn't do it. And so I'm in agreement with these brothers. There would be absolutely no benefit to the next generation to teach them anything about football.
And then can I add something to that too? Is the fact that you really don't, as far as the camaraderie aspect, those are the things you miss to the game. But it's so many football players, when you're done playing football, all you ever knew to do was play football.
That's it.
But growing up in this way, these young men coming up, they're handed a hammer. They're handed a nail, and they're taught how to build. They're taught how to grow food. They're taught how to, being able to live off the land. They're taught these things that's going to carry them way longer than any game will ever do. So it just doesn't make sense.
And also to that point is, we have, I guess it's a healthy envy of these young brothers here, because they're exposed to it.
Yeah.
I'm 41, and I'm trying to learn stuff I should have learned when I was 12. And it's like, damn, why didn't I wish somebody had told me this. Dan and myself talk about this all the time. If I had known this,
oh my goodness.
If I had known this in the heyday, where would we be now? And those are the things that, I'm not gonna say it plagues, but it just keeps coming back. Like, if I'd have known this stuff, where would we be? Where would Israel be? Things like that.
And what people don't tell you too, playing the game, just playing professional football or any sports, to be honest with you, they tell you about the money, but they don't tell you that when you're done playing, 2 years within leaving the game, 80% of people that play the game of the NFL or any sports file for bankruptcy. Mm. That money is gone. Either it's taken because of bad spending, it's either taken out because of divorce. 80%. That'd be like saying, hey, somebody's going to do surgery and the doctor said there's a 20% chance I'll be successful. No one's going to go under the table with that doctor. And so why would you send your sons or your daughter, even, I don't know about females, but just anybody into that environment, knowing that there's an 80% failure rate, you know, and I would say I was the one that was good with my money and did everything right, and even I fell into the same category of 80% filing for divorce, you know. So it's a bad rap. I mean, even when people win the lottery, they always talk about the people that win the lottery. People don't tell you life after the lottery. They say, "Oh, I won this million." Within 4 years, they're broke, literally broke. And so it's not about the money. It's really about fearing Yah and keeping His commandments.
Bottom line.
Straight up.
Hallelujah. Bottom line.
Thank you. How do you foresee cultivating the adrenaline of your sons? You mentioned yams and chickens, you mentioned hammer and nails, so I know where you're going to go. But for those who don't see us visually and how we agriculturally function, speak to how you would train your children when that time comes, when they have time on their hands and they have adrenaline and they need something to do.
Well, that's why I'm looking forward to getting land. So the things I'm going to do with my sons and my children with their energy, if it's a daughter, she'll be learning how to be a woman, you know, how to cook, clean, do whatever the things that a woman's supposed to do. If it's my son, he's going to learn how to work the land. He's going to learn how to, you know, clean the chicken coop or, work with the cows or whatever we have on our land. So whatever they're cutting trees or cutting wood. I mean, the sky's the limit. The sky is the limit for this. So I'm looking forward to that. I wish I would, and then even have the ability to work alongside my son. Sometimes I think even in football or any type of these office jobs or whatever, we've always been away from our family working, and our children never learned. Couldn't be, but besides say, hey, I did what I saw my father's doing. You know, it's more we go and then we come home. But here I can be out there, you know, picking up the chicken. I mean, you clean up the chicken coop or working with the animals or cutting trees. And I'm alongside my son doing that. So I'm really looking forward to doing that with my sons, to be able to do that. And even as a community head, as I deal with the finance, teaching them that, teaching them, hey, this is how we take care of Israel from an organizational perspective. So that's how I'm gonna, you know, take all of that, you know.
I think a lot of that is a practical application, and that's following the example that's before you, and that's Shepherd, Pastor Dowell. He always mentions by the age of 3, that's when the son should go with his father. And like I said, we're learning the necessary tools to survive now. So by the time, you know, he may turn 3 or whatever, all he's doing is following the example placed in front of him, which is you, as you follow him as he follows Christ and things like that. And it's like I said, picking, chasing chickens, building homes, laying blocks, all these things that we're learning now. So when that child becomes of age, he's just gonna pick up, you know, where you at and just follow you. So as long as you're busy, he's gonna stay busy. And just young man for their strength, go do that, lift that, bring that here, and all things of such.
When I look at the children that we have on the land now, we got a lot of boys, young boys on the land now. And seeing them on a daily basis, they go to school, and then after that, they're outside. They're outside constantly. So the good thing about having land is, number one, like Rob alluded to as well, and Kabir, you go out, you're able to, after school, you're able to help in building building buildings. Whatever we're doing, like when we were building out our dining hall, boys was in there. They're learning how to do it. They're pulling tape measures. They're learning the same things that we're doing. Even on the standpoint of boxing, teaching them how to box, how to use their hands properly. You know, my oldest son, he's getting to the point now, me and Frogman talk about this a lot, to where we're gonna really start teaching and training him as well to be responsible when it comes to weapons. The same exact things that we do, they're exposed to as well. So as far as their adrenaline and all of that, I know I look at these boys on a daily basis and they are exhausted by the end of the day. They're tired, they want to go to sleep by the end of the day. So I don't think that's going to be an issue at all.
Yeah, I think it's something that definitely has to be done with these young boys coming up. When I have my son, I would have him outside when I have my farm, and as I'm learning, he's learning too. You know, and I was just like, I don't know why I'm so excited about seeing, you know, a spinach grow out the ground, and he was just excited, and we're learning together. it was just something that I was making sure I said to myself, I didn't grow up like this, but I want my son. And this was before I knew anything about Straitway. I didn't even know, people were doing this like how on the level that Straitway is doing it. And so I'm just doing it by myself. And I was telling myself, I want to make sure my son knows how to operate these machineries and, manage a farm and chickens and all that stuff. And, that's what I was doing with him. So I think it's not something that I'm going to change. When I have more children, it's going to continue. And I want them to, be like some of these young boys that I see here on the land, just outside and just being boys, learning, seeing the men build and work and learning from a young age. And so I think it's a beautiful thing. Like I said, I didn't grow up like that. And so I do have a healthy envy for some of these young brothers, even some of the men who just build like Brother Bud. He can build anything. And I'm just like, man, I wish I could do that. But I know it takes time to learn and I will. But it's a big thing for me to have my, sons and seeing these young boys just grow up and learn how to do some of these things so they can build their own homes, grow their own food and, just do everything Pastor has been talking about and preaching about for all these years. So
when Brother Brett came up to Indy, Brother Brett came up there and helped us take out a garage door, take a whole wall off, and build a frame and build a whole wall, right? And I'm thinking to myself, I played in the NFL, I made a couple $1 million, and this young man is up here running circles around me. I don't even know half of what he knows. I'm asking him, okay, and obviously at the time I'm excited because I'm actually learning how to do this stuff. But you really take a step back and you think like, now which one is more valuable in the long run? In the long run, the knowledge that him growing up under Pastor Dowell and around a teacher Shane, around a Brother Bud, around Elder Becker, these things are going to serve him and his children forever. And that's the way it's supposed to be. Rather than, hey, I made a bunch of money. Okay. Well, what about the generation after that? It's pointless. This whole culture, this Western culture, it is pointless. This is it. This is it.
When you look at the trajectory that the next generation that's here at Straitway learning, what they're going to learn, they can do, anyone can do it if they put their mind to it, talk. But even if I had sons, the chance of them playing in NFL is still slim. Yeah. And so you can teach them all that stuff. They have to get through injury. They got to be eventually drafted. I mean, it's still slim just because you was born. How many people you hear, Michael Jordan has a son. What's the chance of him going to make it to the league? Doesn't necessarily because I did it, you're going to do it. So it's really is a pipe dream. But to be able to teach them how to build, how to be able to do things around the land, to be able to do for themselves. That means they don't have to be dependent on the government. They can do everything themselves. They can build out, and then guess what? They can take that wisdom and teach their children. Mm-hmm. And then their children teach their children. And you have a generation of people that knows how to take care of themselves and not dependent on this beast system. And so this is where the treasure is. It remind me, when I found Straitway, it remind me of the guy in the Bible, or the story in the Bible where a guy found land. And when he found this treasure, he sold everything he had to go get this land. And I feel like Straitway is a treasure. I mean, it's YAH's treasure. But to see how they're doing everything, I said, this is where it's at. And so that's what I want to teach them. If I can pass that on, then I know that the house of Kabir and all the children that comes from that will all now be able to be self-sufficient in YAH, but really in YAH, but not have to depend on the world. And they can build, and that's going to last more than all the money in the world if they can just be able to have the skills to do all those things. So I'm excited.
I would say one of the things that's actually been sad, is hearing stories of young men that were here and that they're no longer here. And, guys like us coming in and we're just like, where are you going? Like, it's like, why would you leave? There's literally nothing out there. And to be able to live out there and there's nothing out there. And we come here this simple old Straitway. And it's just like, I wouldn't even say heaven. I get it. Heaven on earth. In a sense, if I can use that in a pure manner. But, it's been sad, for me to hear those stories of young men leaving. And, they're going in the opposite direction of where we're trying to get as far away from as possible. And it's just, but we're grateful for the young men that are still here. We're coming up, man. These brothers behind me, and it's huge. It's a big deal. So,
we're gonna be on this one for a little while. Yeah. Like, sir, think about it. And I'm talking to y'all, okay? Because some of the young men he's talking about, I had this conversation with. One of them told me, I want to travel. He said, I want to travel all over the United States. And I asked him the question,
What?
Okay, what do you want to know? I've been to every major city. I've been to, what do you want to know? It's all the same stuff. It's all the same stuff. There's nothing in it. You see? And you brothers, y'all really got to be strong at the age that y'all are.
Yes, sir.
Because these behind you, they're coming right behind you.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, we got to continue to do what we're doing, but they're getting to an age where they're going to start realizing, like, wow, that woman's beautiful, Mm-hmm. And that's usually one thing that drives men in the world, right?
Yes.
Money, power, those type of things. I can do what I want by myself, that type of thing. That's why I told the young man, what do you want to know? Like, seriously. You have outlets in this ministry, these brothers right here, who have seen what the world has to offer on a high scale, to say, you know what I mean? Come talk to us, ask us these questions. Mm-hmm. And we can be upfront with y'all and tell y'all, again, the same thing we're saying right now. This is it. Seriously, this is it. There's nothing better than this. Nothing.
I would go on to say, even to piggyback on that, just an example. Some saints, they came to support at a Ring of Honor event this past November. And the whole time, we couldn't wait to get back and fellowship to the land. Although we're in the middle of a stadium, a bunch of people yelling and just anything that the world can offer, we had the best of it. Yeah. But all we could think about is, man, let's get back to this land so we can fellowship and praise YAH. Yeah. So that was the thing. I was like, okay, I want them to have a good time, but I'm ready to get the hell up out of here and get back to the land.
Definitely all over.
And so it's things like that. I've been to Japan. I've been at all the islands. I've been to Europe. I've been to all this stuff, and it's like, man, forget all that stuff. It means nothing because it was artificial. When you finally find something that's real, you want to latch on to it.
Come on, man.
And if you can take mental reps without having to experience hardships, if you can learn by somebody telling you, you'll be that much further in life. We're telling you there's nothing out there. Yes. So if you want to take it on yourself to go experience and you trip up and you can't recover from it, that's on you. Right. But if you can have you just take mental reps, just learn these practical applications, things that we're telling y'all, we've been there. The four of us have been, any way you can imagine, we've been there. And we're telling you it's nothing there. Mm-hmm. This is where it's at, and this is, you may look at it, it may be small, humble, this, that, and the other, but this is richness right here.
Man,
This is
true wealth.
This is true wealth, and we're telling you, we're gonna beat this drum until we can't no more. So as long as we got a voice, you're gonna hear us say it.
Do you remember when we came back to the land, though? Do you remember how much deliverance went forth? Yeah. We praised for hours, and then at the end of the praise, it was a bunch of deliverance. People getting deliverance all over the place. Why? Because we were amongst these people out here in this world for an extended period of time, and when you're around it, you're like, okay, but you feel filthy. It's like I don't want to be near this right now. I remember Rob was like, man, I just can't wait to get back to the land, eat some good food, drink some yak and spank a spade or something.
Spades, yeah.
Because we just wanted to be around our people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? There's nothing better than true family, man. And family, y'all, there's nothing better than this. Nothing.
And I always add to it, not only just true wealth here, but true power.
Come on.
Power in Christ Jesus, right?
Yes. Come on.
And I've been at a high level. I had the opportunity if I wanted to. I really do believe if I wanted to be the governor of Wisconsin, I think I would have won.
Yep.
I already had the name recognition. I had the support of a lot of politicians. Matter of fact, it was so bad. I mean, to tell you that opportunity, anytime there was rumors that Kabir could be considered running for governor or something, the politician will call me to say, is this true? Because if they knew that it was true, no one wants to spend that money because they're going to lose. Because I already have the rating there. So they just say, and when I said no, then they felt comfortable to do their campaign. I said, no, trust me, I don't want. But I've met presidents, I've met former presidents. I've been in that circle. They call it the circle, with the Secret Service and stuff. I mean, it's off the chain, But with all that, they don't really care about you.
Come on.
I mean, I'm still in the same town that I became a hero. A Packer hero. I still live on that land, in that place called Wisconsin, Green Bay. And since I've accepted Jesus Christ and truly came into this truth, none of these people won't even come by my house. Before, I couldn't even stop people like, can I come? Or if you call them, they'll pick it. They won't even take my calls. They avoid me like a plague, especially when I first came into this stuff. When the Bible says, when Jesus says that when I chose you out of the world, he said the world would hate you. I'm in the area where I was loved. And the reason why I was loved, because I was of them.
Yes.
But when he chose me out of the world, they hated me.
That's
not because I did drugs, beat anybody up. They hated me just because I was chosen. That's it for the gospel. Churches was kicking me out. Churches would love to. They were paying me thousands of dollars to come in there and speak, to share my testimony of how God made me successful in football and blah, blah, blah. And look at all this stuff. Man, when they found out that I came into truth, churches literally says, we don't even want you there. So you can see that the love is not really, they were just using me. They were using me at the church and saying, okay, let's get this guy here so we can get this one. And then that was it. Okay, we pay him, give him a cut, boom. Here, Straitway's not paying us. We here because we want to be here.
Come on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the other place, they will pay for athletes and say, come and do autograph signings. I don't think, I've even done I haven't done no autograph signing.
Exactly.
I'm not even saying that's wrong, but I'm just saying that this is just off the chain of how things are done here than how it's done out there. And so, like I said, all of that stuff, at the end of the day, no matter how high you get up, you are going to come down. It is going to be a hard crash. You're going to realize that, and you hear celebrities, just listen to the celebrities. They say you probably maybe find one or two people who really care about you. But when you up there, look at some of these guys, when they were playing, no one really supported them until they got to the pros. And probably all of us experience this, so tell me if you guys can relate to this. You get to the pros, and everybody's calling you, can we come over? Can we get tickets? Can we do this? As soon as your career is over, okay, right? You got the big house, you got room. Hey, come and visit me. You're not playing anymore. Well, I'm here. Well, you're not really, you're has-been now. Mm-hmm. They don't want to come and see you. They don't want to even come and visit you. And you thought all those times they were coming there to see you. No, they were just coming to say, hey, I know Rob. I know KGB. And they just wanted to be a part of that. But they didn't want to come there just to see you and hang out with you. I think Pastor has been to my house. I don't know how many times he's been to my house in Wisconsin. But he's been there a lot. And I still have yet to take him to the stadium. And I'm not even saying that's wrong. But when Pastor comes, he comes to fellowship with the saints up there. That's it. We don't even leave that. If we go out, we're just going shopping to get some food or get something, but we come right back to the thing. That's love. That's like, it has nothing to do with tickets or whatever. And he's just up there. He pays his way up there. And then he not only pays his way up there, he actually leaves an offering. Did anybody ever do that for you guys? Yes. When they come to the games and everything? Have they ever left offering for you? No, not in the world. Yeah. They're there to take. When Straitway come, or like Pastor, when anybody in Straitway come, they leave it better than they found it, and leave you with a gift. Yep. I was like, I'm not used to this type of love. And you got people doing this to you that don't even have the kind of money you have. They just say, hey, thank you for letting us stay in your home, boom, 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 and they just give you a little something. It means so much. Anyway, that's just.
I told you we're gonna be on this. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
All right. So, I mean, since we on the topic of love, I thought that again in Christianity, everybody liking you and it's all friendly. They act like they love you, but again, coming into the truth and still sticking to the same book that they read on a Sunday. You found out real fast. These folks, like I thought everybody was, hey man, let me know if you need anything, we got you. We love you. Okay, my house is on fire right now. I just need a little bit of water. Can somebody pick up the phone and just talk to me or answer my call? Radio silence. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I said, I've been, whatever they would call it, a good man. I haven't bothered nobody. I've been kind. I've served. I've done everything they said to do. And where was the love? So now I come here. And I've probably experienced the worst year of my life in 2021. And the worst beginning of my life in the beginning of 2022. Reason you might, me and Brother Kabir, we went to Nigeria. Most people know we went to Nigeria. Had a good time, learned a lot. Came back. And this is when I always knew my brothers loved me. I always knew Brother Kabir loved me. But this was when I knew for sure. I got off the plane. We both got off the plane. Brother Kabir went before me. He walks very fast. I don't know. We were literally right next to each other, and then he was just gone. And there were police officers on the jet bridge. So I'm thinking this is a security checkpoint. I said, I've never seen this before. So they're checking everybody's passports. Sure enough, I give my passport. Police officer says, come with me. I'm thinking to myself, what's the matter? Says absolutely nothing, puts me in cuffs, and takes me to another part of the airport. Walking me through the airport like it's this big spectacle. Everybody's looking like, what's wrong? Being, black and all these things. People are just sitting there staring. So I'm not thinking anything over because I'm like, I know I've done absolutely nothing. So we're in Chicago at this time. So I'm in O'Hare Airport, and these jokers take me to jail. So I'm sitting there, and so Brother David came to come pick us up, and I'm calling Brother Kabir, and I'm like, okay, guys, we should be out here in a couple hours. I don't even know. They're not telling me why I'm there. And next thing I know, I'm in there for 12 days. 12 days I'm in jail, and I'm sitting there, have the, DOC suit on and jail shoes, and, I'm sitting there, how did I get here? But one of the things that got me through was talking to my brother every single day. We might have talked. There was times 5, 6, 7, 8 times. Just, hey, bro, I'm just sitting here. There's nothing else for me to do. I'm in the cell. Like there's nothing for me to do. And so that was one of the only things that I saw and realized that this brother literally loved me because he's laboring with me, and I'm sitting there in jail listening to Block Talk, listening to Shabbat service, and my brother's literally there with me, and we called another brother who was, not a brother, but he's Christian, and
Christian, yep, you can say Christian.
Said, ask for help. What do we do? How do we get him out? This guy said, I'll pray about it. I'm sitting there having no idea how long I'm going to be here. And then we have another Israelite brother who gave us some things that we need to do. Ended up, getting the whole lawyer and everything. But I say all that to say, Brother Kabir was sitting there every single day, took all of my calls, and just helped me get through. And then as soon as we got the clearance for me to get out, these I don't know how fast they were traveling.
That's 3 hours away too.
They were 3 hours, but these bro, they were there. I think I might have. It was on the Shabbat I got out, like 11 o'clock at night or whatever. But David and Brother Kabir were there to pick me up, and I was at Shabbat service at Praise Land. So it's just love. I have not experienced love until I've came in this ministry, and people think it's just always love, like doing nice things or feeling that little tingly feeling that. No, getting on me sometimes that's love. Getting chewed out, getting rebuked and reproved, that's love. But the world's not gonna see that as love. They go, he hates me, or he has a problem with me, or he's angry at me. No, because he's ripping you right now and chewing that he loves me. Mm-hmm. But they won't see it like that. So I now know what love is.
And if I can speak to the next generation, you young ones, I know, because we were created to be loved and to love, right? And so that's why people's always looking. That's why people get into gangs or join different type of groups. They're looking for love, right? But I think there's not a lot of love out there. So people are looking for love in the wrong places. But I'm telling you, we have been celebrated. We call celebrities. We've been celebrated because of playing this thing called football or whatever we did. And we're telling you, the love here is real.
Yep.
Yes.
The love out there was fake. Even when we weren't in the truth, we knew. We knew. We knew that only reason why you talk is I got money, because I'm KGB, you knew.
Yep.
But when it comes here, I don't even have those even concerns.
Come on.
Because of stuff like you said. Because the same thing I did, all I did was pay for it. Guess what? You think I'm here taking your calls every day? When I was in my little jail cell, when my family left me, guess who was calling me every day? Pastor Dow called me, as busy as he was, calling me every single day. I didn't know I was in a dark place. I didn't know I was suicidal. And you have this man calling me every single day. He knew my condition, knew where I was at, checking on me, talking to me for hours. From Tennessee. And I couldn't even get any of the pastors, Christian pastors I gave millions of dollars to, thousands of dollars to, build schools, build churches. And I couldn't even get people who were only 10 minutes away from me to come in and visit me. And Pastor Dow's calling on me, checking on me. If I call him, he takes my call. And he's just helping me through, just encouraging me. I remember one time, Pastor he said, man, what you going through is tough. I'm like, man, this guy is supposed to be mean and everything, what the world's saying. He says, tough. He said, you go into your room. I just lost my wife, lost my children. Everything's going crazy. He said, you go into your room and you close the door and you cry. Oh, it's tough. You cry hard. But when you come out with your shoulders down, your chin up, and you stand, man. You stand. I said, what? Just stand. And I wanted to say, okay, coach. The way he was talking to me, he was like, coach, boy, you may get your butt in that game. Hey, I was like, I want to call him coach. Sometimes I slip up and call him coach.
Yeah,
Coach Dow.
I do too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's love. I'm like, no one has ever, except for my dad, but has ever done something like that outside of that. And by this time, I haven't given Pastor not one single penny. I don't even think I started until he came out. He came out and visited me, filled up my whole refrigerator with food. Him, mother, just filled up with food, life. Just love. He came to visit me all the way in Tennessee. If anybody had the greatest excuse not to take my call, Pastor Dow had all the excuses. I don't know you. You're not in my territory. You're not in my area. He came all the way just for me. While all these other pastors that I gave money to wouldn't even come and visit me. And I remember when Pastor told me, he said, hey, we're going to come up there. But when he came, he only came just to help me because my house is on fire. My house is on fire. He said, I'll come up there just for your wife. Matter of fact, I don't normally bring my wife. I'm going to bring my wife up there so she could be, from a woman's perspective, talk to your wife. And then when he came up here, he said, I don't think she's going to come, but, I'm going to tell people I'll be in the area. They will come. And then so he says, hey, can you please see if you can get a place where we can meet with people? So I'm thinking it's the typical thing. You get this guest speaker, he's coming in. I got to get the hotel or the conference room. And I'm thinking, naturally, I'm paying for it. He's coming here for me. So I got to pay for it. Once I said, I got the location, he said, okay, good, we got it from here. I said, what do you mean you got it from here? No, we're going to pay for it. I don't know anywhere in Green Bay where we're going to be staying. You know where that is. I just need you to do the work to know where we're going to stay. Just give us the information. We'll take it from here. He paid for everything. And I'm just an NFL player with millions of dollars. And in Christianity, you would have to pay for all that stuff. You had to pay for the plane tickets, the accommodation, all this stuff. All I did was just open up, hey, Pastor, here's a bedroom and a place to stay. And he did the rest. Anyway, this is getting me emotional a little bit. This is love.
Understand.
You're not going to find love. You did not find this in the world.
Man, how we can all come together and say that this is a true family, and none of us may not be related by blood. Again, I'm in jail, and my family is, because Brother Kabir had to facilitate a lot. Call my mom, call my dad, and I'm talking to my family, and they're saying, is there a way, you can lean a little bit more on us instead of Kabir? I said, I was offended. I said, no. Jesus said, Jesus said, your mother and your brothers come for you. He said, who's my mother? Who's my brother? He said, they that do the will of my Father.
That's it.
So I said, okay, I know Brother Kabir is doing the will of my Father. Nah, child, I can't. I'm not going to lean on y'all. There's no way that's happening. This is my brother because he does the will of my Father.
I think when I was done playing, and everybody goes through it, right? Nobody comes anymore, right? I actually thank y'all for that. Now, at the time, I didn't know, but I realized now that y'all was doing the separation from that point. Literally from that point, y'all was stripping me, and I'm talking about of everything. Literally from that point to get me to be able to hear. To be able to hear him. I couldn't hear him at that time. But literally, I could, like, none of my family came up after that. None of them. So y'all was literally doing it from the get-go, you know? And I think that's why my situation was a little bit different, because my wife, on her side, it was the same thing too. You know, it was sparingly like her brother would come, but nobody came up no more. We weren't popular. We weren't, you know, nobody wanted to see anymore. You know, so we had that experience of, well, nobody's coming to see us. It's just me and her. You know, it's just me, her, and the children. Well, so when we heard, when the Most High started really dealing with me, and I heard, you know, I hear the time people had to lose family, lose this. I already had lost them. They were gone. So at that point, it was like, hallelujah, full steam ahead, you know? So I thank the Father for it.
Let's come together.
So, for you guys, for the older men, for us, what are things that you see in us, in the age range that is represented, not just us, but all the young brothers, that are amazing and you want to keep seeing? And what are some things that we need to work on and strive to get right and get better?
Real quick, what I love and I demand to keep seeing is the zeal. For you young men to be the age you are and displaying the zeal that you're displaying, that is fantastic. It is awesome, and I love seeing it, and it motivates, but also puts the older man feet to the fire to match your intensity. Yes. And that's a football term, match your intensity. So you young men are kind of the pace setters, and we need a lot of us need to catch up with you all. So I love seeing that. I absolutely love seeing the zeal that you all display.
The thing I see is potential. The fact that you guys are in this truth at this time in your life, at this age, it makes me. I'm 44, and I came into truth 40. And I'm wishing, like, man, I wish I grew into this stuff.
Hey, come on.
And I would never be able to, go back and be a boy and grow into the stuff. This is where I'm at. This is the time I came in. But the fact that you hear your trajectory will be totally different than our trajectory, because you started with this stuff. But so that's the thing that I'm excited, just the potential that you're in it. Obey your parents, your father, your mother. Obey those who rule over you. Continue to do everything they tell you with 100%, and your trajectory is going to be better than what we're doing. And so what we're doing now is creating an environment so you guys can now take it to the next level and be better than the Pastor Dow, be better than us. You guys should be better because you're growing into this stuff.
Yes.
And the things that I wanted to see, just you guys just stay the course. Just do what you're doing. Do it like Rob says. Keep that passion. Keep that zeal for the Most High Yah. And what I don't want to see, and I'm not saying I've seen this, but I have actually. I've seen it. Don't take this for granted, because it's all you know.
Yeah.
And so because you in it, it's easy to think like, man, just that one out there is better. And Israel always had to deal with that, where Yah said, don't learn from the ways of the world. And so I'm telling you, the way of the world is very luring. It's very convincing.
Yeah, it is.
And we're here to tell you, we've been to the mountaintop out there, and it's only a hilltop. You are on the mountain. Don't trade a real mountain to go to a hill. You guys hear what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So anyway.
Yes, sir. Mine's short and sweet. Hey, this is what I want to see. In agreement with all them brothers, continue to stay on fire.
Hallelujah.
Continue to stay on fire, right?
Yes.
We're like little sanctuaries, right? We're scattered all over the place. So what I want to see is I can see y'all at every single feast, and I can see y'all grow.
Yes.
Getting better year after year. The one thing I don't want to see is we come here and I don't see you.
That's it.
That's what I don't want to see. That's what I never want to see that. That's it. All right?
Yeah, I was, Brother Kabir took it right out of my mouth, man. But I want to see y'all brothers, man, to continue doing what y'all doing. Like I said, I came here, and as far as learning and seeing what truly worshiping the Father looks like,
Come on, man.
dancing before the Most High Yah, praising Him. On this right. Christianity, my hands didn't pass this right here. You go in Christian church, it's all the women and all the men sitting here like, well, here? Y'all brothers told me, I'm not afraid. I'm not too proud. I don't mind learning from a younger brother. And I've learned, all y'all brothers, but these brothers over here,
Turned up.
come on, man. I'm sitting here like, I gotta, and it's not even a competition thing. It's just like, I need to develop and have that same fire always. So we telling y'all, don't lose it because y'all got it. Don't take it for granted, being able to hear and know the truth. Because I spend a lot of time looking back and be like, I can't believe I couldn't see. I thought I was good. I thought I could hear, but being in this and knowing that you can understand the scriptures because your understanding has been open.
If I can just add, I know you have us here because of what we have accomplished and what we have done out there, but they shouldn't even be looking at what we did because of what we did out there. If anything, I'm looking at them and thinking like, man, I wish I was them.
Yes.
I want to be, I'm like, hey, you want to switch, you can be 40 and then I'll take your age and then I can take this. I mean, I want to be where they are so that I can now do it the right way so I can please the Most High Yah.
Yes.
Come on, man. I have all the years that I was living in sin and didn't even know it. And now that I know it, of course, I'm going to move forward. But I'm just saying, how many times I say, okay, you 10 years younger than me. Hey, let's switch spots. I'll give you the money. Let me just get you a spot. Then I can at least start back over and do it the right way at least. I mean, if I go younger, hey, let's do that, So they should be the one that we should be looking like, man, out of the mouth of babes. These the one. I look to see what they're doing and see the potential. Now, when I have seed, I'm looking forward to rearing them up in the way they should go now.
And also to add is y'all don't realize how much y'all charge us up. Like for real. Seeing how y'all, like my brother TJ said, worship, but even during service, when you see the word being spoken and it hits one of y'all, I got to experience that on Shabbat.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know what that felt like to actually hear the word being spoken and be able to say something and see the word of y'all hit y'all on this front row. To where it's just like, boom, that thing, it charges you up in such a way. Like you remember what it felt like when you run out the tunnel or something, right? Like you like, whoa, like it's that feeling. Just seeing y'all love y'all. You gave me one of the longest hugs I've ever had when you got here, when I got on this land for this feast. And what did he say to me? He said, thank you for loving y'all. You know how much that meant to me, man? You know how much that encourages me? You know how much that sets me to say, man, keep enduring, keep going, because this young man is looking at it. That right there alone, man, I'm telling you, it is priceless. Literally, it's priceless. I would, if every dime I ever made, I would give it up without even blinking. Without even blinking, just to be in a position and see what y'all are doing right now, man. There's nothing. It's priceless, man. It's priceless. That I thank y'all for y'all. Seriously, y'all brothers are awesome, man.
And I'll be remiss, and I want to say this because a lot of stuff that we're talking about is, and everything we're talking about is good. But sometimes you can get caught up where you're just doing it because what we can see, because I don't see you every day. I see you at the feast. I see you in service. You're jumping up, you're jumping up, you're screaming, you're hugging. That's good. But I hope that's not where you're just doing it. I hope you're doing it when they tell you to go clean up your room. When they tell you to go clean, cut the grass, or and you honoring your father, and you honoring your mother, and you honoring the pastor. That's where that's worship too. Come on. That's actually more so because no one can see you. No one can say, man, I love what I'm seeing. Because all I can tell you is what I see here. Yeah. But I hope when you by yourself cleaning the bathrooms, you're doing it with joy. No one can hear you but the Most High Yah. When you go into your prayer closet, when no one can hear you but the Most High Yah. That's where I want to see that passion.
Yes, sir.
But if you just doing it here for us to see, and then you going out there and living like a heathen, I hope that's not what's happening. So don't mistake it, because we can only tell you what we see. But I hope you guys are doing this in your closet, in your prayer closet. I hope you're doing it when you're at home, and whoever you're submitted to, they can say he has a good name.
Come on.
And not just a good name in here. When the camera's on, everybody can see you, but then you in your privacy, you don't have a good name.
Come on.
You guys hear what I'm saying?
Yes,
So please don't mistake it. But we just tell you what we see, but I'm hoping that's a reflection of what's going on behind closed doors.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Another question from the family? No? Answer? Okay, thank you. All right, we'll wrap it up with any advice that you may have to mothers and fathers whose children want their friends and want their public school. A lot of people do come out and separate. When a mother and father separates and they pull their children with them, the children are shocked or not in the same mind yet. So, as you said earlier, it's an 80% failure in football, for example. It's not easy, but they have that dream still in their minds. What would you say to the mothers and fathers? How would you advise them to teach their children to separate
From the
world?
From the world.
Football dream?
I would say that in my situation, I truly believe, I had all the way up to 16 at the time when I came into the truth. I really believe if my wife at the time would have just followed me as I followed Christ, all of my sons and daughter would have followed me. So a woman played a huge role in that role, because she's either tearing my house down or she's building it up. And now, unfortunately, I had a situation where she was tearing down my home. When I see little ones, to be honest with you, I'm good with children. I mean, they don't bother me. That's why I want to have 94 of them. You know what I'm saying? Because they're so moldable. They're so powerful. I mean, you can do whatever you instill in, they're going to become whatever it is that you put the time into them. And so the way I have my sons and daughters formed, they would have followed me, but mom played a huge role in that. So if mom is involved, if the both parents, father and mother, is on an agreement, I believe that the sons and daughter will follow. So really the children are a reflection of what's going on between mom and dad. And so, Danny could tell his story when he did it. His children was in school and stuff like that, but his wife followed. And when I look at his sons, they all are like on fire for the Most High Yah. They're glad that their dad did what they did, So I know that children will just follow wherever the parents go.
I think more with my perception is control the controllables, and that's leaning on Yah, raise up a child in the way you should go, and just leave it right there. You do what you're controlling how you raise your seed, and if he gets to that point, he wants to make that decision. You have to be at peace, knowing that you're doing what Yah told you to do, and just let it be, and just following the example in front of you. Pastor Dow, he raised his child, he raised his son, and he decided to go elsewhere. So I'm at peace because I'm obeying Yah, and that's just the bottom line. I'm going to do what he said do, and let the chips fall where they may.
That's it.
And I want to be extremely, what's the word I can use? Sensitive in saying this, okay, to people because that's hard to go through. I mean, I can't imagine what that feels like. That's why I'm very careful when people that lose children, lose family to this. I don't ever go up to them and be like, man, I feel you, because I don't. I cannot say that. So I'm being very careful in how I say this, but it's the word of Yah. Save yourself from this untold generation. Save yourself. And in doing that, saving yourself is not selfish. We know that. But saving yourself, I'm commanded to love Yah. I'm commanded to love my brethren. Right? So naturally, I have to do those things. So now you can never say you weren't loved. You can never say you weren't taught the truth. You can't ever make those statements. Now, if they turn around and they choose to walk away from this, save yourself from this untold generation. Save yourself. Again, I'm saying that in the sense of I don't know what that feels like. You know what I mean? But I have 3 examples right here of how that really happened. But guess what? I got 3 examples right here of how y'all restored them too. Literally, right before my eyes. I look at Kabir's situation. Y'all literally restored him. I look at Rob's situation, and I was knee deep in both of these situations. And Rob will tell you, I was like, man, like it be times where I'm feeling it like, dang, man, like, and Rob was like, nah, I'm not gonna. I'm like, all right. And as far as like, you know, the children, and Rob would just be like, I'd be like, man, you know, but I'm watching the example of these men, and I saw both of them. I've seen TJ. I'm seeing them save themselves. They're being restored. They are restored, and the same thing, this man is being restored as well, so save yourself.
That's a good answer.
I ain't adding to that. Y'all got it.
I would add to it because they gave great answers, but if I had to rephrase my answer regarding that, saving yourself, like Rob said, just stay there, because at the end of the day, this truth is not for everyone. He's called many, but few are chosen. Mm-hmm. And when you do stand and you keep the commandments of Yah, your home is going to get divided. It will, because he's going to bring that sword, and your enemy will be of your own household, and you're going to see all that. And by you standing, you're going to see who are his and who are not. And so you can't be afraid of that, because that is how Yah tests to see if you are his. We're going to be tested, and whatever you love the most, and a lot of people I know, I was one of them. That was a great temptation, and I bet you he can say the same thing. Back in the days, I still love them. You don't stop loving them, but I love y'all more. Come on, you see what I'm saying? But I would have done anything as shy of going to hell for them to do anything for my sons and daughter. But when it came, when I got called, I had to choose him. I can't serve 2 masters, and so I ended up losing them because I chose to stand and keep the commandments of Yah. So I love what they were saying, and it was hard. That was a very, if I could just share these 2 things that I experienced, because it's real experience. But I remember there was a situation, somebody told me, actually it was my ex-wife, and she told me, you want us to come back home? And she said, if we come back home, do we have to keep the Shabbat? Does the children have to keep the Shabbat? And I remember pondering. I didn't give a quick answer, even though I knew what the answer was. I really wanted to ponder. And see, I said, okay, it says sons and daughters. And then it said, nope. If they come and are within my gates, they're going to have to keep the Shabbat, because that's the commandment. She says, well, until you come back to your senses, we're not coming back home. Another test, and it's this concrete test. I think it's beautiful. It was tough to go through, but I remember my former pastor, before Pastor Dow, I was trying to get him to help me. Can you help me? And he didn't. He said, well, let me think about it. He says, but until then, while I'm thinking about it, go to your son's football game. Now, I have a son. He's very athletic. He built the way I was built growing up and everything. And he says, go to your son's football game and show him that you love him. I said, and then I asked the typical question, what day do they play? He says, you go figure it out. So I did call the school, because I didn't sign them up for that school. So I called the school and say, hey, what days, I heard that my son is over there, and what days do they play football? He says, Friday nights and Saturday day. Well, do you think I can go? I can't. That's right in the smack down, right in the middle of Shabbat. And so I can either go to my son's game and show him that I love him and hate Yah, or I can go keep the Shabbat and not go to my son's game, hate him and love him. What did Jesus say? To be my disciples, you have to hate your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your wife, your sons, your daughters. And so I chose to love Yah and hate my son. You guys hear what I'm saying? It's not like I don't care about him, but if I'm gonna choose who I'm gonna show love to, Yah comes first. Bottom line. That's it. Can't serve 2 masters.
Question from the panel. Please stand.
What would y'all say the differences in advantages and disadvantages to the different lifestyles and mindsets in detail?
Advantage? Well, there's really no advantage in the world because pretty much everything is that you do is pretty much sin. Whether you know it or, I mean, in some way, shape, fashion, or form, it's not. I can't really say that there's an advantage. Maybe y'all can, but there's to me, there's no advantage of being out there. But again, the advantage of being in Israel, you know who you are. You now really learn who YAH truly is and his characteristics, and it's not what would be a good word, distorted by any doctrines. It's just coming straight from the book. It's straight book, and that's exactly what we do. So the advantages of being over here is once YAH opens your understanding, you get to come in, you get to learn truly the ways of his people and how we operate and how he always designed for us to operate. Versus you being out there, you can be in the world, you go to church and do all that stuff, but they're not teaching you the ways of YAH. I'll give you an example. I used to go to church and used to go out to eat with my pastor. Preach whatever he was preaching, it'd be great, everybody's hugging, hey, see you next week. And we would go right to the restaurant. And I literally sat there, pastor, hey, they have this great bacon and these scallops. Now, I didn't know nothing about clean or unclean foods or anything like that. I didn't know that if I ate this bacon that I was sinning against Most High. Or if I ate this scallop, I didn't know that. So I'm just sitting there having a good time, filling myself up, and I'm sitting here, and I come to this side, and I said, oh my God, these people, this is sin. So that's it. There's no advantage of being, and I'm just talking about, from a church standpoint, but I can't see within myself a true advantage of actually being in the world or doing anything that they do, because everything that they do is truly against y'all. I said, whatever the world tells you to do the complete opposite, because they're literally going against y'all in every way, shape, fashion, or form. Again, we talk about our football. There's thousands of people in the stands. It's it's college. That's on the Shabbat. How can you honor y'all? Go play football on the Sabbath when he said that's the day you're supposed to be resting, but we're working. There's no advantage of being out there. The advantage is here.
Yeah, yes, sir.
I think mine is a twofold advantage and disadvantage, and that I mean the disadvantage was, okay, you're out there in the world and basically going completely against Yahweh, but in that he shapes he has a plan for you. Your role is going to be your role, and the disadvantage is just being behind the eight ball. Just you sacrificing salvation, and the point that I was getting at kind of slipped my mind, but it'll come back to me. But the disadvantage is that it's failure, but you don't look at failure as failure. It's experience. So that's the advantages. I've gained experience. So that shaped me from when I come in here, I can tell you what not to do because I've experienced those things. So if you can listen to me, I say, young man, don't do this. And if you listen to me, you will be that much further ahead. Because you said your trajectory is going to be here. Ours is right here because we're at a certain age, but yours can be here if you can listen to the ones that's been in the position that you have not been experience-wise.
Yes. I realized that y'all never wanted me to know evil at any point. He didn't want me to experience that. He told them don't eat of the tree, right? Mm-hmm. And they did. And he said, look, they become like us. Having that knowledge of good and evil, he didn't want that. He didn't want me to experience any of it, right? So I'm with TJ on this as well, with all my brothers, but you see what I'm saying is, there's nothing out there that is to your advantage. Everything is a facade. Mm-hmm. It is a lie. Literally, it is the Matrix.
Yes.
It's fake, and then the ones that do know it's fake, they know it's fake, but they're so caught up in it that they can't even escape it. They can't even escape it. And when I tell you that, for y'all to pull me out of it, or any one of us, or any y'all to pull us out of that That took a whole lot to pull us out of that, to change your mindset. It literally took the creator of all things to die, to redeem us to him. For that, there is nothing out there. There's nothing out there is worth anything that is being done right here. Nothing out there. So there, to me, there is no advantage in that mess. None of it.
I would say the guys cover a lot, but just want to add an advantage of this lifestyle that we're in the truth. And I'll use one concrete example: is community. See, the world would tell you to get your own house, your own mortgage, your own car, and just keep it with just you and your own little small family. And now, this is coming from a guy that's I am a certified financial planner, very good with money, and I'm telling you right now, I see so many advantages doing community as opposed to doing it yourself. I see how you can build wealth when you do stuff together. I got brothers who live with me now, and they go out and work, and they bring in and put it in one pot. Do you understand? Instead of me, at first it was just me going out there. I do speaking engagements. I'm doing all these different things to try to make money. Now we got 10 guys. That's why I want to have 90 people. People think I'm just joking. Because I know when I get all my little seeds, I'm going to send them out. And they're going to go work and do whatever they got to do and bring it right back. And you're going to have some guys on land and you have your own army. The world doesn't want us to have that. They want us to be individuals, so we're dependent on the government. Yeah. But when you do community, you don't need the government. We have each other. Yeah. Like when somebody gets sick, or not sick, but like have to go to the dentist or something. We don't have insurance. Guess what? We got the money. We're making 6 figures easy. Just that, none of the investment, just off of the guys going. We have a construction business. We got a drywall business, and that enough take care of the whole community. And the more we have in there, the more. And then it's not only the money you're making; it's also the money you're not spending. You're not spending money to fix something in the house. You're not. We doing it ourselves. We becoming very self-sufficient that we're no longer dependent on the government. But if I was to do that with my own little family, I wouldn't be able to do the things I'm able to do. But because I live on community, I see how wealth is going to get. How we're going to continue to grow wealth. I can see how we're saving so much money because we don't have to spend money. We just go do it ourselves. We're builders. We're the builders. We can do things on our own. We don't need to keep outsourcing everything. And we want to get to the point where we have every type of trade: electric, construction, concrete, roofing, plumbing, and to the point where we're the one. We'll be seeing our little companies with different names, right? They'll think, all these companies, all different people. They don't even know. They give it to one source. It's Israel. Yeah. And then at the same time, when we need to do something, we have a plumbing company. We have an electric company. That's kind of my business, to have all these companies making money, getting all this money from the heathens, bringing it to Israel and take care of Israel. And then when we need it, we just do it ourselves. That's it. You see what I'm saying? So that is, I see so much advantage of doing community as opposed to just doing your own thing.
Thank you all so much for your time. Do you have any closing words, any acknowledgements?
Can we start this way, or do I have to?
Just like I said, for y'all young brothers, just keep doing what y'all doing. Look at the ones that's ahead of y'all, that's been in this for a long time and doing it right. But where y'all are at a great place. Like, again, please don't waste this. Don't waste this, because we all sit here and say, man, I wish I knew this 10 years ago, 15 years ago, because we know where that would have taken us if we had known this at a younger age. But y'all does all things well. So y'all just keep striving, keep pushing, and keep doing what y'all doing. Keep serving the Most High, y'all. And y'all will be good. Y'all will be good.
Let's hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yah and keep His commandments, for that is the whole duty of man.
Yeah, what he said.
I'll say the same thing, but I will not add to it. I just want to bring it you put it in different order, because I like the way that ended. Look at the gift that Yah has given this ministry by us, who's gone into the world, did well. And we're telling you this stuff because I remember telling people, don't make the mistake we made. You guys have something really good here. And so, just like Rob was saying, take a mental note. We already made the mistakes. We already done it. You guys have something good. Build off of the foundation that Christ has done with Pastor Dow and what they're doing here at Straitway Truth, and make it better. Keeping the commandments of YAH and fearing Him. So that's all I just want to say is just that was the only good thing, is that in this generation, but the next generation not going to be thinking. We're coming out of her. We right now are coming out. And as we're coming out, you guys got to see the generation who was in the world and don't want to have nothing to do with the world. And now you can tell your children and your children's children, this is why we don't need to do that. Why come? Because we had the Robs and the KGBs and the Daniels and TJs. They've been out there and they saw nothing out there. And we need to stick to the book. Stick to the word. That's all I want to say. The law, baby. It's the law. My name is Kabir Bajabia Miller.
Robert Mathis.
Daniel Muir.
TJ Clemmings.
Just real quick, if you guys put your bottles down, because I'm assuming that gets picked up when you guys are touching your bottle. I trust me, I know a little bit about this stuff.
So I have to repeat myself.